Hello everybody, my name is Super Chicken. I'm going to be giving our Hunter Survival Controller deck another run. Let's see how we go. I did actually get up to rank 12 with this deck. I did drop a few levels testing out a few other decks. I'm also working on a Shaman deck, a Druid deck, and a Warrior deck. Let me know which one you'd like to see next, and I will prioritize that one for my next set of videos. Right now though, this Hunter deck is pretty good. I haven't made any changes since the last video. We're just going to continue steamrolling forward for as long as we can without making any changes. Well, obviously making changes as they're required, but we haven't really made any changes yet. If we come up against a certain type of deck that just continues to punish us, we'll have to make some adjustments, but at this point it seems like we're alright. That said though, weapons on warriors can be a little bit frustrating at times, so I'll try to play this one really carefully to, you know, hopefully minimize the impact. I'm going to keep those. They seem pretty good. It gives us a lot of options for aggressive approaches, so depending on what he plays, I sort of feel like we have at least one answer for most of the possible threats. The only thing that would make this opening hand a little bit better would maybe to be see an eagle horn bow. I think that would be fantastic. It all depends on what he does in the first few turns that really, you know, sets it in stone for me what he's playing. So if he's playing an aggressive deck, he will sort of flood the board in the first couple of turns with some creatures. But if he sort of passes the turns and armors up repeatedly, we could be looking at something a little different. There's the eagle horn bow that I've... This is actually a pretty good hand, so I'm sort of hoping that we can do a little bit with this. Next turn he'll have 2 mana. He's not going to be charging us with anything important, so I think we'll just... I mean, we could set a trap knowing that he won't break the trap, and then eagle horn bow next turn so that we'll get the benefit of the trap on the eagle horn bow. That's not a bad idea. It's also a pretty good idea to maybe just ping him and choose the appropriate trap when we can actually see what he plays. Because the... You know, which trap do you play? Freezing or explosive? They will both trigger when he attacks, so you sort of waste a trap if you do it like that. So you really got to pick the right trap for the right occasion, and putting them both down or just taking a wild guess is not the best approach. You won't win. I'm going to play the bow and just attack him once with it. The alternative there would be to, like I said before, set a trap, but we don't really know what we're coming up against. And the other one would be to just steady shot him, which is actually a valid option. But I want to get the bow sort of out there and primed, because I do have these 2 traps that I am going to be using as soon as he plays a creature. We're going to hold on to our last charge of our bow. We're not going to use it unless it's an absolute emergency. It looks like he's pretty happy just to sort of sit back and, you know, armor up repeatedly. So I'm a little bit tempted to actually play the Wild Pyromancer now and just sort of pressure the board a little bit, because he may be a control deck of sorts. But I am going to hold him in reserve, because there's a possibility that on, you know, turn 6 that he just hammers the board with everything, and I'm going to want something like that in reserve. At the moment, I think I'm content sort of he armors up and then I take the armor away. We can play this little game back and forth, and hopefully I have a higher... a better top end or a better end game than he does. I guess we'll see. It would have been better for him to have played this creature in conjunction with a spell on the same turn. So if he waited 2 turns, he could have gotten some cards out of this, because I'm probably just going to destroy it right now with a deadly shot. I don't want to give him the option of drawing cards. He's played this card early, hoping that I won't remove it, which I will, so that he can probably capitalize it on a full set of mana. But he probably should have just played it and then played some cards with it on the same turn to at least get some benefit from it. But basically, he's just going to eat my deadly shot, I think. The other option is I could freezing trap and hope he attacks, but the thing is he might cast a lot of spells before that, so I want to get I want to deny him that. So we're going to deadly shot. Deadly shot, and we're going to set up a snipe. That's a good one to have when you don't really want to set one of your traps. Snipe will trigger on whatever he casts, whatever creature he plays next, which will charge up the bow, which is pretty good. So by playing the Gadgetzan Auctioneer early like he did, he sort of gives me a chance to react to that, And we did. So basically, we have the option of allowing him to keep it or not, and it's pretty important that you get rid of that, because he will pull ahead with just by playing a series of cards, and he will just flood the board with stuff, and you just don't want that. We have one of our own, though. And I might wait one turn to play it with a trap, and then that'll look pretty good. We'll just attack him. I think we'll just pass the turn here. I think we're just sort of stockpiling cards because we're not really sure what he's doing. I think he's playing it pretty cautiously as well, so we're sort of feeling each other out. I just gotta sort of hope that he doesn't just start dropping huge bombs on the end game, because I may not be able to handle them all. He certainly feels like a bit like a control deck, a little bit like me. So this will be interesting. Very interesting. Having a Secret Keeper like that come out could give us another play here. We could wait one more turn, and we could do Gadget Stand, Auctioneer, Secret Keeper, and a trap in one. Might be reasonable. That way they both will trigger off it, but I need extra mana for that. So I think I'm just going to shoot him with Steady Shot and wait. I think waiting is the aim of the game here. There's a good chance that he could be waiting for me to put him below, I think it was 10 or 15 health, so he can Molten Giant combo me. So we're going to make sure that we have Freezing Trap ready for that, if that is where he's going with this. We shall see. Yeah, you don't often see Blood Mage in a Warrior deck unless he is a control deck, so I think we might have him sussed out. Where's he going with this, though? Usually you combination, you know, you would combo Blood Mage with a damaging spell, but he's just sort of thrown it out there. I don't know what he's trying to do with that. Maybe he's waiting for us to make a play. I'm not going to be using my Deadly Shot on it, that's for sure. It's absolutely non-threatening right now. And I actually don't really see it becoming threatening. I could actually use Pyromancer to get rid of it. I could Pyromancer into a trap. But I'm not too... I don't know about that. I just don't know if the 1/1 threatens us in any real way right now. I think we might go ahead with the plan and use Secret Keeper, Gadget Stand, Auctioneer, and a trap all in one. That might be what we do here. I think that's what we'll do.
I got the best deals anywhere.
The question is, which trap are we going to use this time? Misdirection might be a waste. He'll, you know, redirect 1 damage to probably one of my other creatures. We could just remove it with Explosive Trap, or we could Freezing Trap him back to the hand, but he's so cheap, like it's not that much of a big deal. I think we might just Explosive Trap it, remove it, and put the damage on him and, you know, charge our bow. I think that's what we're going to do. It doesn't look like he's going to rush us down with lots of little creatures. It doesn't really feel like that's what he's going to do to us. I could be wrong. I got more of a feeling that he's going to, you know, Molten Giant us or something like that. Something really large and ugly will come out and attempt to get us. Yeah, he definitely looks like a control deck. With cards like Slam, usually end up in the control decks. Just sort of allows them to reduce the health so they can trade up easily with axes and things like that, whilst still keeping their hand full. I mean, if he was an aggressive deck, he wouldn't be holding 9 cards, right? I think actually I would prefer to play against a control warrior because I am just so afraid of these axes. I mean, the Fiery War Axe is one thing, but the Arcanite Reaper is another, and when he starts swinging those around, it just... Wow. Like, unless you have the Abomination, which luckily I just drew into, it's a real issue. What's he doing? This is a thinking game, this one. I have a good feeling I'm going to have to reduce him from about, say, 14 health to 0 in one go. Because if I leave him below 14 health, he can use his axe on something to get him below 10 health, then drop 2 Molten Giants and, you know, Warsong Commander and then do a number on me. We're going to have either an Abomination is the key player in this match, I believe, and the Freezing Trap will be as well. We definitely need to make sure that they are available to keep us alive. Because we're not going to have a chance to use Deadly Shot or Big Game Hunter. He is going to try to one-shot combo us. And for that reason, I'm going to get rid of Wild Pyromancer right now and offer the trade. Because the thing is, he can use this guy to beat me up if he wants to. Like, if he inner rages or something, that will... Gee, you know, if he inner rages this guy, I will take a lot of damage. That is really not what I want to be looking at. If he does inner rage it, though, it will die on my Explosive Trap, which is reasonable. So I think we'll just keep it as it is. Yeah, we've just got to play this one really carefully. This does sort of have the stink of the Molten Giant combo deck about it. And the aim of that particular deck is to, you know, kill you in one shot. The only way it can actually combo off like that to kill you in one shot is if you do a lot of damage to them and bring them down to a certain portion of their health. Gosh, how many attacks did that guy have? Did he just swing 3 times? Or did I miscount that entirely? I don't even know. It certainly felt like it. Yeah, I mean... These creatures can sort of rush me down by themselves. I think we're just going to straight away multi-shot. I think that's the best option there. Feels good. We'll do that. Yeah. Yeah, I really want to put this down because it's going to give me a lot of a big safety net, but I feel like it's going to be a big key player in whether or not I actually win this game or not. Like dropping him the turn he unlocks the combo would be the ideal to play this. Sorry, the ideal time to play this.
I hunt alone.
He has put a lot of armor on himself though, which sort of does make his combo a little bit hard to do. Because he's sort of relying on me to beat through that armor eventually. I would say I probably have maybe 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, maybe 10 damage to go before it starts looking like his combo will sort of start happening. That's assuming that I'm right, that he's actually on the Molten Giant plan. I could be wrong. Such a tense game, this one. Sort of, real standoffish. Although, his incremental damage may actually supersede mine, which is a little bit embarrassing. I may have to cast this to get some board pressure.
To Northrend! Victory!
Okay, we're definitely getting close to the combo space. I reckon we've got to watch out for these weapons because we can watch his health total, and if it doesn't dip below 10, we're fine. But he can use the weapons to attack big stuff to reduce his own health. So we're sort of getting at a point.
That was an error.
I'm not sure if he's talking about himself or me right now. If I attack him, then he can attack me again, take 8, which will put him down to 11. He armored up. I don't know why he armored up. It's games like this that are a real... I find them a little bit even hard to commentate because it's like, it's such a mind game right now. I can swing for 6, right? And that'll put him to, what, you know, 13. But the thing is, he can use his axe on my guy to go lower than 10 and one-shot me. I could use a misdirection and a freezing trap. They will trigger in the order that they're played. So if I misdirect and then freezing trap, in theory, if he does play a Molten Giant, he will attack himself and then it will get frozen to his hand. But I sort of feel like I'm going to need him out as well. If I do attack him, I'm going to have to play the Abomination. I think that's what we'll have to do. Abomination.
What we do.
So I've put him in that area of damage there, where he can start to get free Molten Giants.
Quickly.
I think Misdirection is what we want to play here. Yeah, Misdirection, and Arcane Shot's not going to do anything. We're just going to put it on him and really put him low. So if he does try to combo next turn, hopefully Misdirection will do a number on him, hopefully reducing him by another 8. We may even get to kill him next turn, assuming that we have sussed him out. Okay, so here's the attack. That'll reduce him. That reduces him again. Does he play Molten Giants? There's the Warsong Commander. Here's the Molten Giant. Molten Giant. He'll swing into Misdirection. He's probably going to charge with this first, because he probably senses the Misdirection. It is a Misdirection. We still may die here, because he had both of the Warsong Commanders. Yeah, he got me. Bugger. I think... What should we have done? Should we have played Freezing Trap instead? Yeah, that's the full combo. In case you haven't seen it before, that's it. Yeah, wow. So his combo's really strong, okay? I believe it's a, one of the tier 1 decks around at the moment. It's very, very strong. It comes out of nowhere and one-shot kills you, basically. It can do easily 30 damage, so it doesn't matter if you've been whittled down or not. I think the idea is to correctly identify those decks, identify them early, and come up with a better way to deal with it. I think I played that incorrectly, actually. The Misdirection was sort of gambling on the fact that he only had one Warsong Commander. Basically, he would then play Warsong Commander and Molten Giant, and then kill himself with the Molten Giant. But because he had both Warsong Commanders, he was able to probe out the trap with the second Warsong Commander, which basically lost me the game. Had I had played Freezing Trap, I actually think I still would have lost, because he would have probed it with Warsong Commander, it would have taken it to his hand, and then he just would have killed me with Molten Giant. So, I'm not sure there what I should have done. Maybe I just got outplayed. I'll have to review this video afterwards to see if I could have actually handled that better. Anyway, moving on. We're going to keep these 2 cards and ditch that one. They're cheap, that's not. That's probably the fastest game I've had. I'll take a free star. Makes the embarrassing loss last game a little bit more bearable. Anyway, let's talk about the first game a little bit more. I'm looking at the hand there. I think perhaps I was incorrect in attacking with the Argent Commander and Steady Shot. I should have not attacked with the Argent Commander. Maybe I could have just Steady Shot. I would need to work out the maths on that, because he can do 4 damage to himself using the axe on my guy, and held the Abomination in reserve. We could have seen more cards. Basically, the deck doesn't really do much if you don't let them get low enough in life. They use the weapons to reduce their own life to let them combo. So maybe I could have, had a few more turns dilly-dallying around looking for some real damage to, maybe come up with a way to kill him myself. Maybe I should have dug until I found a Ragnaros or something like that. Whoops-a-daisy. I'll keep those. Ditching the Argent Commanders and keeping the Secret Keeper and Arcane Shot. These are a little bit more playable early on in the game. Anyway, I thought that was an interesting match. I mean, the Molten Giant deck is good, so, I mean, even if you do know what's up, sometimes, they'll still get you. Although I am proud to say that I did call it. I called every play that he made. Unfortunately, he outplayed us, but I did call the type of deck that he was playing. So that makes me feel a little bit, makes me proud. Alright, so we're going to track. The bow looks pretty good. We could get some secrets for our Secret Keeper. It seems a shame to throw away the bow right now. Snipe might be pretty good, although Chillwind Yeti does sort of plow through it. Yeah, I'm not too sure. All 3 of these cards are good. I'd be proud to have any of these. I think we're going to go with... Oh, you know what? I'm going to ditch the bow. I think that's the bad choice, though. I'm going to take the snipe. Just so that I can combo with Secret Keeper later on. I'm actually going to try to play Secret Keeper this turn. This could be a mistake, because it lets him act on that. He might have like a claw or something to remove it. When, you know, had I waited a turn, I could have sniped and Secret Keepered in the same turn. Actually, as a matter of good practice, I think that doing it in the same turn is the way to go. So playing this first turn was a mistake, even though it looks like he hasn't punished me for that mistake. I think I should have done it the other way around. So I'm just going to go ahead and put the snipe out before he starts getting, you know, stabby on this guy. I'll remove his creature before it becomes any more of a pain. I must say, those Novice Engineers are a real pain. I sort of... They're such a good card, you know. I don't think I'd be upset if that card became a 3-costing card. And that is like the absolute perfect card to play into a snipe as well, because you still get a board presence. And you know, waste a reasonably good snipe on a generally non-threatening creature. I think the play here... I'm not actually too sure. I could play a misdirection, buff up my creature, and then maybe attack him. Alternatively, I could use Arcane Shot to remove this creature. Maybe even both. I could do that. That feels alright. Maybe I'll do both. Arcane Shot is going to drop off pretty rapidly against the Druid, because they just typically play humongous creatures, and the Arcane Shot just isn't going to do much, so I might just do it while I can. I'm basically playing Misdirection here because I want to buff up my creature, not so much that I have to have a Misdirection out. Because playing a Misdirection onto an empty board is sort of risky, because you just don't know what they're going to play soon. I mean, if they start playing Chillwind Yetis or really big things like that, then it's pretty good. But if they play little, tiny, weenie things, then Misdirection's sort of bad. Okay, I think what we're really after is our second bow. I realize we chucked our first one. Maybe it would have been better to have taken the bow now that nothing's really happened in the early stages of this game. A little bit of lag there. Yeah, we'll just keep the Misdirection up. We're not going to put down the Explosive Trap because it will combo with cards that we haven't drawn yet, and we want to do that. But also at the same time, 2 traps together, they will stomp on each other's feet, and we don't want to do that. This could be a Druid of the Claw coming at us right now. There it is. Misdirection at its finest right now, I think. He chose to charge himself just then. I mean, it's sort of adorable, but he still does have a creature on the board that we now need to deal with. And luckily we have a couple of ways of doing that. We can use the Explosive Trap and the Arcane Shot to remove it. We can just Deadly Shot it straight off the bat, but I am loath to do that because Druids are notorious for playing humongous creatures, and I would love to save that for that humongous creature. The alternative is to play Abomination, which may be the best choice here because when it explodes it does all that splash damage, but he just doesn't have a lot of splash damage creatures worth clearing out at this point. So maybe I will trade my Abomination for his cat. It does seem good. I can use these 2 cards though. But I think what I want to do is that will combo better with all my traps and Secret Keepers, and I can use it at the same time with the Gadget Stand Auctioneer to draw extra cards into better cards, because right now these cards are sort of hopeless against the stuff that he's playing. So, in combination with him, they'll be good. We're going to play the Abomination. I think that's the right play. We'll see. I mean, with 3 more mana, I can play the Gadget Stand Auctioneer and drop both of these generally redundant cards at the moment and just draw 2 more cards out and hopefully hit something that's really, really good. I'd love to see the Black Knight come out soon because Druids just love to play taunt creatures. Black Knight, you know, of course, destroying taunt creatures whenever you play him, so he seems like a good card to get and would be worth digging for. Although I'll be a little bit upset if I draw a tracking and then in my tracking results I get my last bow and the and the Black Knight together. That will be very upsetting to me. Because one of them won't get picked. He's really thinking about this. This abomination's really got him irked. He is irked by this abomination.
Time waits for no one.
There we go. What's it gonna be? 6 mana. Khan. Yeah, he's annoying. I think we're just gonna play Freezing Trap though, because we don't really have a clean way of dealing with him. We don't have the luxury of having Polymorph or Hex, and I don't think I run any Silence abilities. So making this an 8-costing creature for him will be pretty good. I think that's probably the best thing we can hope for. So here you go. I have a Freezing Trap. I mean, I could Deadly Shot him, but then that just gives him, you know, not Khan Bloodhoof, but Barn Bloodhoof, I think is the name of the Bane Bloodhoof. And, I mean, then we have to deal with Brain Bloodhoof, and that's just, it's not on. I was gonna say, it would actually be really good if he buffed that with, like, Mark of the Wild, and then we sent it back to his hand with Freezing Trap, but unfortunately he played another kitty. We are actually really lucky that he led with Khan just then, instead of the Speed Kitty, because the Speed Kitty would just go back to his hand, and then we got to still deal with Khan. We can deal with Speed Kitty in a number of other ways. Innovate into Claw. Now that's an interesting choice. I mean, he could have easily have saved his Claw and Shapeshift combo for something else, but he wants the damage on me, so... Maybe he wants the armor on himself, but that doesn't really seem like the bestest choice. We were lucky enough to draw Sylvanas just then, and this may be a good time to actually play her. I would love to have one more turn just to get the most out of Gadget Stand, Auctioneer, and these 2 traps, but playing Sylvanas might be alright, because she'll trade with this creature, but she'll also steal something. I mean, if I do manage to steal a Druid of the Claw kitty, that's fine. I know he has a Khan in there as well. Kane. Is it Kane? It's been a while since I played Warcraft 3. I'm going to play her. It sort of puts him in an awkward position. You know, does he go for my life total? Does he risk having her get killed? Although, at the same time, he probably has a Keeper of the Grove in his hand. No, he actually decided to tap out and play Kane. I better look that up as well. I think I'd be happy stealing any of these creatures. I'm just not sure which one I should go for. Here is where I'm not actually really sure of the play at the moment. I could use Gadget Stand, Auctioneer, and cycle 2 cards. I could trade... Or I could just kill the kitty with Sylvanas, and that probably is the best bet, to be totally honest. Can I... Oh, here's a good play. I think this is actually the play. This is the play.
Let none survive.
I trade away here. And then Arcane shot my own Sylvanas, taking his Cane. Oh, that feels so much better. Yeah. And I'm going to get the most of it at this Explosive Trap as well. I'm going to cycle it using his ability. What a profitable turn. I traded away Sylvanas into the kitty because... Sorry, the Druid of the Grove. I'm calling it a kitty, but it is the Druid of the Grove in cat form. I did that because Sylvanas randomly takes a creature, and by removing that creature, I was able to put her low enough to kill it myself, but also to ensure that I draw away Khan and not the kitty. Because this is actually it's a really good card, and he's going to have a hard time dealing with that. Unless, of course, he plays the Keeper of the Grove, as I was just about to say. So we're actually pretty lucky that he didn't play that on our Sylvanas, which he probably should. Instead, he tapped out to play Khan again at the increased cost, but maybe he didn't have it in his hand just then. Who can say? I wish that would sit down. That's really... sit down! What do we do? I feel like I could probably just play Ragnaros or Misdirection and attack his life total at this point. I don't really think... Like, he will want to trade away with me. More than likely, he will want to attack Ancient of Law into my Goblin here. If I play Misdirection, I can at least cantrip, draw another card with Gadget Stand Auctioneer, and before he dies, so that might be the way. Alternatively, I can just, you know, attack his creatures or something like that, and finish them with Wild Pyromancer. But I sort of like these creatures. I sort of feel like I am strong at the moment, in a strong position. So if I Misdirection, he might actually... Oh, actually, beg your pardon, it only triggers when you attack the hero, not when he attacks a creature. I might be... Might be better just to play Ragnaros then. Yeah, I think I'm going to play Ragnaros and put some pressure on. I'm going to probably kill the Keeper of the Grove, though, with this right here. I used the Gadget Stand Auctioneer because he is probably going to target the Gadget Stand Auctioneer next. And I'll end the turn, and I'm sort of hoping that Ragnaros will kill the tree. That worked out really well. Yeah, I had to trade into the Keeper of the Grove to increase the chances that Ragnaros would attack the tree. Yeah, that is a typical counter.
I must safeguard.
Ooh, boom. Yeah, you had all the counters just then for that little setup. Perhaps I played that wrongly. I could have done that better, maybe. Yeah, he's got a lot more stuff on the board now, so it's a little bit more frightening. I can trade away some stuff here. I'm just sort of wondering if I should do my Pyromancer combo, use both of these to take out, sorry, in combination, all three cards, which will destroy him and leave him on 1 health. It'll also set up a couple of sweet traps for me. And I could trade away here, or I could just attack. Yeah, I think I'll... Yeah, we're gonna go with this. We're gonna drop him on the board here, although I don't expect him to last very long. I'm gonna just destroy him and everything here. So, oh gosh, you know what? I actually didn't even look then that I already had an explosive trap up. That was a big mistake. I definitely should not have played Misdirection. I actually forgot that I had the explosive trap up. My apologies. These traps don't really play well together. Explosive trap will trigger first, then Misdirection, so everything will die except him. Yeah, really, really upsetting. I'm going to play Snipe and try to come out of this blunder a bit better. I'll just attack. I could trade with it. Oh, better use that. Yeah, lots going on there. I did make a big blunder there. Hopefully, it won't be too bad. I realized he was going to trade with my creature just then, so it was sort of a good idea to put the damage on himself and make him trade. Although if he attacks with this creature, it will... What will happen first? Misdirection probably, and then explosive trap. Yeah, sorry, I really made a bit of a blunder there with the traps. Sorry, yeah, explosive trap will trigger first because that's the one that went down first, and then Misdirection will trigger. Yeah, terrible, isn't it? I mean, what a huge waste of traps. What a terrible waste. You know, there's a very good chance I could lose this game from that mistake there. I feel like I was doing a pretty good job about calling what he would do before it happened, but you know, it didn't quite work out for me. We're gonna flare, hopefully find something that can pull me out of this. I'm gonna flare and hopefully find something that'll pull me out of this. Ooh, spicy, very spicy actually. We can go 6. We can charge and attack him, or we can. So leaving him alive could be a problem, especially if he has a Mark of the Wild or something that can buff him, and then he draws a charge creature out or something like that. Could do a number on my health total. I think I probably want to remove this. But the thing is, if he puts a giant taunt creature down instead, that could also be bad. So I may just want to put his life total as low as possible. 4, 5, 6. I could put him down to 3. That's pretty good. I'm going to risk my life total here. I'm going to put him as low as possible. I'm going to ignore his creature. I think he's already played both of his Druids of the Grove, so that's 2 of his haste creatures that are gone. I'm just sort of worried that if he buffs this creature at all, it could be a little bit worrisome. Yeah, that's annoying. Oh my gosh. I think what we'll do next is trade Argent Commander into the Druid and then Deadly Shot the Ancient of Law. The problem is he's pulled ahead with some of his cards here. Because of Ancient of Law. So we're gonna go into you. I just hope that he didn't draw anything relevant. And I'll continue to harry his life total and hopefully pull ahead. Yeah, you definitely have to be on the ball with your traps on this one. I mean, that was the absolute slightest slip of the mind, and I made just such a tremendous blunder. That's excellent. I was going to say, I hope he goes into taunt mode, because I'm holding a Black Knight. I mean, he could have just gone into 10 damage mode, and that would have just been horrific. Okay, the play here, both of these cards will destroy this card, which is really good news. But we're going to play Black Knight because, one, he is so conditional, whereas this will just work all the time. He's so conditional and relies on being taunt, plus it also pressures the board, and we might actually be able to finish this game out between these 2 creatures. We're going to hold our Deadly Shot for when he plays something nasty next. If he does play a Ragnaros or something like that, like, he could potentially kill us next turn. Because he will Ragnaros and bonk us for, you know, that final point of damage. So we're really wanting to have some stuff on the board. Taunt? That's alright, I'm holding a Deadly Shot. I think next turn we can do 8, 9, 10 damage. He's on 12 life. So 2 turns. Hopefully he just doesn't Ragnaros next turn. And this is going through 2 of his healing, healing whatever that heal spell was. I mean, he's been, where was it? I could find it here, I'm sure of it. How long ago was that? He definitely played a couple of those healing wave, or I don't even know what it's called. A couple of times, then he jumped back up to 20 life, and that's, you know, quite tricky. I think he's a little bit desperate at the moment. That destroys nothing and doesn't taunt anything, so we're going to just finish off the game like this. I'm invincible. Very good. I feel that went well. I am pretty happy with how that went. I mean the outcome, not necessarily my performance in the mid-late game there. We pulled it together probably just by better draws, not necessarily by skill there. I almost completely threw that game due to that one blunder. And I have had times where, when I was learning this deck before I started making videos, where I would just do that all the time, so it sort of feels like a throwback to the earlier days. That's a good example of what not to do with your traps. That could have been handled in 1,000 different ways that would have been better. Going on to our third game, though, I think we'll see. Hopefully, you know, I actually wouldn't mind seeing that exact same warrior deck again, because I feel like I can beat the Molten Giant combination. I'm sort of a little bit stinging that I knew exactly what I needed to do to defeat it, but it wasn't enough in that particular time. Hey, a warrior, we may actually have my wish come true. We'll see what we can do.
Let the hunt begin.
These can go, Freezing Trap can stay. They're expensive, Freezing Trap is not. That is more or less the criteria for this one. Loving the Eagle Bow. Sorry, I always call it the Eagle Bow because it's easier, but it is the Eagle Horn Bow. So that's good. So we'll have to see what he's all about. He could very much be a rush deck, or he could be the Molten Giant combination deck, or he could be the Alexstrasza combination deck, or he could be a control deck. You know, there's so many variations. Opens with Axe, but doesn't swing. So who knows what that is. Let's just ping him once, and then we can play the armor up ping game where I steady shot him and he armors up all the time. I'm not terribly afraid of the Molten Giant combination deck. Like, if I do see it again, I believe I can identify it from a distance, and then I know what I need to do to defeat it. I realize I blundered up maybe last time, but I feel like I have a good idea of what to do. So if it if it does actually end up being that deck, we'll see. We'll see what happens. I'm gonna just get the bow out and start getting stabby. Stabby with the bow, shooty with the bow, maybe. At the moment, I think I'm just trying to feel him out and sort of like suss him out and see what the go is here. He used both charges, which would suggest to me that he has another weapon in his hand, perhaps even an Arcanite Reaper. Yeah, I don't think he's too concerned about blowing axes on me, which is actually, I would actually genuinely prefer to play against the Mountain Giant combination deck, sorry, Molten Giant combination deck, than I would the Axe deck, because the Axe deck slices me in twain. Yeah, going on 4 damage, sorry, beg your pardon, 4 mana next might mean a Corcoran Elite, so I'm going to use Misdirection. It'll put a charge on this bow, and I'm going to ping him. You know, if he attacks himself for 4 damage, that's pretty funny. Corcoran Elite. That's what I banked on here. No. So that's probably why he used his chucked away his last charge on the axe, probably because he intended to give himself another axe. I'm also half expecting there to be another Arcanite Reaper. What's really interesting though is that he was so quick to destroy the charges on that, but then you know, he's just going to hang on to this one. I don't know. He's crazy. We'll put the snipe up, because anything he plays is a threat to us and it must go. And we're not going to use Deadly Shot on this creature. There are far worse things out there. What was my other trap? Oh, that's right, Misdirection. We can at least take the 3 damage that he'll provide himself with. There's a chance he may lead with the axe though, so I don't know. Well, I guess we'll see. We didn't play Misdirection expecting this card. I realize it was a very good option, but we played it hoping that it would be a Corcoran Elite. Oh man, if he's playing upgrades, then this is just the deck I don't want to be looking at, you know. On the plus side, he did destroy his own creature. Misdirection actually is really, really good against the warrior decks, because he typically is always holding an axe, and that does give him an attack value. So had he attacked the other way around, instead of him attacking with the axe, he uses his creature to attack, he would have actually destroyed his creature anyway. So, it's pretty good. I realize he still has a very mighty axe at the moment, but we have a clear board, and hopefully we'll be alright. I am actually uncertain about the play here. I mean, I'm definitely going to be swinging with my attack, with my Eaglehorn bow, but I'm half thinking I've got to put an Argent Commander on the field to at least threaten the axes here, because I need to give him something else other than myself to use an axe on. Because he will just use it all on me and I will lose the game. So I am, for that reason, I'm going to play this creature. And we're going to swing with both of us. It does put him on the clock here. And I'm sort of hoping that if he is a Molten Giant combination, because I'm not actually smelling the Molten Giant combination. They tend to, I don't know, they don't often play Corcoran Elites. You know, that sort of feels like a different type of deck. So I could be mistaken. I've been wrong before. I'm sort of hoping that I'm just able to go nuts here.
What now?
At the same time, he doesn't have enough mana to fully do the combo, but he has enough to get low enough to do half the combo, which may actually be bad enough. The half combo can be stopped by a big game hunter though, because you get an opportunity to interact. But I'm not smelling that. If he's playing Wolf Riders and Corcoran Elites, I'm thinking he's not playing a Molten Giant combo. He still may be playing Molten Giants, but not the Molten Giant combo, where he can cycle the Giants for endless attacks and yada yada. Okay, he's decided to rush down my life total anyway. We were sort of hoping that wouldn't happen, but, you know. So what's the play here? I think we use Flare and try to find something good, basically. If we attack, we can go 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 damage to him, which actually halves his health. I feel like I'm actually beating him in a race, but he has the ability to do astounding burst damage, which you can't really see coming. I'm going to Flare just to sort of give me another option that I may not see at the moment. That's actually not a bad option. I can use my arcane shot on his face with a wild pyromancer, and it will destroy this and do damage there. It will pop my bubble though, and at the same time pop all my dreams, and then he will get axed. Yeah, I like my bubble. I think I might even freezing trap and do that next turn. Yeah, I'm gonna try to rush him down and sort of hope that he, you know, will die. Freezing trap, hopefully will save me some time. I will pass the turn. See, now he has to spend his time popping my bubble, and that is more difficult. See, more difficult for him to do it because he needs to spend time and resources to do that. If I was just going to pop it for him, that seems a little bit redundant. Although he seems confident he can win a race here because he just went for my health total, not to pop the bubble there, because he could easily destroy my creature. So maybe he's sitting on a shield block maybe to get +5 armor, which will pull him out of lethal range. I believe I can lethal him next turn. Let me just double check that. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 damage. Yeah, I can lethal him next turn. He's going to want to armor up at some stage. I realize he has charge, but he just had to use all his mana for it then. He had to spend 5 mana to cast this stupid creature. So it slows down his available options, and because I'm intending on killing him next turn, I hope he plays something instead of armoring up. I think we kill him next turn because of that error. I think he underestimates my killing capacity. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11.
Victory or death. Hunt alone.
There you go. Excellent. Win streak. Might get it back up to rank 12. Anyway, my name is Super Chicken. Thank you very much for my name is Super Chicken. Thank you very much for watching. That's better. Chat to you on Twitter or leave a comment below. Talk to you later.